Hello and welcome to another episode of the Uncomplicated English Podcast. Today we are going to learn 7 common phrasal verbs that will take your English to the next level. We are going to learn them, as always, in context, with sample sentences that will help you to understand their meaning and also how to use them. As always, before we get started, I'd like to remind you all that the full transcript for this episode can be found for free on my website at uncomplicatedenglish.com. First of all, we have to know what a phrasal verb is. A phrasal verb is a group of words that often, when used together, have a different meaning than the original verb. Now, if you don't understand this, don't worry. It's quite a complicated term, but you will see shortly exactly what a phrasal verb is. If you were to ask a native English speaker what is a phrasal verb, they probably wouldn't even know themselves. So don't worry, as long as you know how to use them and what they mean, that's all good. Phrasal verbs are very, very common in English, so knowing them can take your English to the next level. The best way to understand and learn phrasal verbs is in context with example sentences. The first phrasal verb we are going to learn is to work out. To work out is a phrasal verb that can have 2 different meanings. But there's no need to worry because we are going to go through them and explain them both one at a time. Firstly, to work out can mean to exercise. Let's try it out in an example sentence. After school, I am going to work out. So this means after school, I am going to exercise. How about another example sentence? I work out 6 times a week. This means that I exercise 6 times a week. The other meaning of to work out is when something finishes in a particular way that is good. For example, someone could say, "Things have worked out quite well for me." This means that in the end, everything has finished quite successfully for me. Another example sentence could be, Kevin never worries about anything, and it always works out for him. This means that Kevin doesn't worry about anything, but in the end, everything goes well for him. It all finishes successfully for him. The second phrasal verb is to look down on. This is a phrasal verb that means that someone looks at us as inferior to them. They look at us as a lesser person than them. Let's try it out with an example. I don't like talking with Maria. I always feel like she is looking down on me. So, this sentence doesn't mean that I don't like Maria because she is taller than me. It means that I don't like talking to Maria because she always looks at me as though I am less than her, as though I am less important than her. The third phrasal verb is to hang out. Now this is a very useful phrasal verb and is one that is used quite commonly. When we ask someone, "Hey, do you want to hang out with me on the weekend?" it means, "Do you want to spend a bit of time with me?" Let's try it with another example. Me and Kevin used to hang out in the park after work. So this means that Kevin and I used to spend time together in the park after work. Number 4, to give up. We use the phrasal verb to give up when we want to say that something has got too hard or we just don't want to do it anymore and we are going to quit. Here's an example. I was trying to learn Japanese, but I gave up. This means that we were learning Japanese, but we gave up, maybe because it was too hard, or because we decided we didn't want to carry on learning it. Number 5, to hand in. This is a phrasal verb that means we are going to deliver something and give it to someone. Here's an example. "Oh no, I forgot to hand in my homework to Mr. Smith." This means that I forgot to give my homework to Mr. Smith. I'm sure that we have all forgotten at least once to hand in our homework. Number 6, to turn down. This is another phrasal verb that can have 2 meanings. The first meaning is to reject. So someone could say, "I was offered a new job, but I turned it down." This means that I was offered a new job, but I rejected it. The other meaning means to lower. So, for example, someone could say, "The music is too loud. Please turn it down." This means that the music is too loud and they want the volume to be lowered so that it is quieter. We could also use it in cooking. For example, we could say, "The temperature of the oven is too high. We need to turn it down." This means that the temperature of the oven is too high and we need to lower it to a cooler temperature. Number 7, to look after. This is a phrasal verb that means to care for. So, for example, we could say, "I can't hang out with you tonight. I have to look after my little brother." So this means I can't hang out with you because I have to take care of my little brother. Well, that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for listening. As always, the transcription can be found on my website at uncomplicatedenglish.com, where I also offer one-to-one English lessons.